This is my new whiz-bang computer that kept cutting out power continually. So what I've had to do is rebox it, and the courier's going to pick it up tomorrow. At least that's all arranged by JWcomputers. So they've got quite a decent system of handling returns. It'll be sent down to Sydney, probably take about 3 business days to get down there. And then they'll check it out and hopefully confirm that I'm not just making this up, that there actually is power outages whenever I try to open up one of the games, which requires the grunt of the superior graphics card that's in there. So I can only hope. It's just one of 3 hassles that I've had recent times. I'm going to get the plumber round. I'm going to have the plumber round on Tuesday morning, 7:30, to check the leak I have in the kitchen area, and so hopefully that'll get sorted, and I won't be totally broke when I pay him for the work, because it could be quite a bit. But unfortunately, what he's got to do is actually cut up the concrete. So I just change shots so you can have a look at what he's got to do. So down there is a slab of concrete. Hopefully you can see that little blue mark that the specialist leak detector guy, John, located a couple of days ago. And if that all works out, then we'll finally be in business and get the main thing off. The only other hassle I've got is my computer. I went in for repair with Adam, the local tech guy from Affordable Computers. He's returned it. It's fine as far as vision's concerned. I've just got no sound, so that's a hassle as well. So I can't do my editing on this video using my normal desktop computer. So it's just stress city all round. So just unfortunate. So look, please, if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, comment, and a bit of TLC would be nice. And if you could possibly subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Other guys seem to have no problems getting to the 1,000 subscriber mark. For me, it's an uphill battle. Oh, now I feel guilty. John, my next door neighbour, had mowed my lawn out the front. It's funny because I was thinking that it was about due to be done, and I was contemplating doing it myself probably tomorrow. So, because he did last time, so I feel really bad about that. It's good to have nice neighbours. I was meant to be going to a home inspection too. This is a house came up, a 3-bedroom house, not far off Nova Street, which I've walked down many times to go to the sports club, the Trinity Beach Sports Club. It's just up there, I think just south of Miami Street. So I know the area fairly well, and it's just a 3-bedroom, 1-toilet cottage on about 345 square metres, so it's quite a small block. And that's what I was looking for, exactly what I was looking for when I first came here. So I was going to go to the inspection today, but then I looked up the information and found out that it's being tenanted up until May next year. So I wouldn't be able to even move in if I had put a bid in, so that's not much use to me. I don't need rent, I need a place to live if I sold my own house, of course. So that's a bit of a shame, but yeah, that's too much of a hassle. I think it'll make it hard for them to sell, a little harder anyway, although there's not many properties on the market, so they may not have too much difficulty anyway, and it's quite reasonably priced. I think they're asking for greater than 570 9, I think they were asking for, which is not bad these days. It's quite reasonable, but it is only a small place, and it only has a 1 toilet, and of course the big bonus for me is it'd be low maintenance, and it's in a particularly good location, much better than here. This is fabulous if you go down the beach all the time, but I think anybody who watches my channel realises I don't do that often. So it's a classic. You buy the place because it's near the beach, and of course you never go down there. How many times has that story been repeated, I imagine? So today I'm heading off to Moore Street, Trinity Beach, to Sid's flat. And I'm going there to just watch the AFL Grand Final. It was either that or go to Palm Cove. He was happy to drive up there. He was okay to watch the Grand Final because, I mean, you know, he's not a huge fan of AFL, but he's happy to, you know, watch it. But he preferred to watch it in his own place because I think he was concerned about getting a decent seat to see it at a venue like Palm Cove Tavern, and that may well be true. They did have specials on today, but it's still cheaper to do it in your own home. I'm going to pick up some beer. He said you don't need to. I've got beer, but I'm going to see if they've got some Hoegaarden, something like that, something different. I don't know if he's ever tried it, but it's a nice beer, and they should have it there. So that'd be nice just for a bit of variety, because he's probably got his El Cheapo Vietnamese beer, which is okay, but not my favourite, I've got to say. Not that I'm much of a beer snob. I'm pretty okay with most beers, but it wouldn't be one of my top ones. They've got better beers in Vietnam itself, in my opinion. I was almost tempted to put in a grog order today, but of course with Liquorland, so many caveats involved if you want to put an order in. The only place I could get an order that would film what I was asking for was actually Kawara Cellars, and I'd have to do it as a pickup. And without transport, it makes it difficult. So, because I wanted to get a few bottles of grog, and but I'm thinking, well, look, maybe just pass on it anyway, because I could probably do with cutting back on it, on the alcohol consumption anyway. And I may not put in an order for a while, but there was a problem with their website too. Yesterday I couldn't even get onto it. There was a technical glitch, but today it seemed to be working again. But again, you know, maybe it's good to have a few alcohol-free days. So that place there, it's just gone under contract. This is quite a large block, 1,100 or so meters, square meters. And the only downside of this place is it might be a bit of a floodplain, because further down towards Kawara Street, where I'm walking to right now, is an area that's susceptible to floods more so than where I'm living. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not right next to the creek, so you might get a few snakes and things. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it, but yes, there was a snake skin in the compost bin at the back of my house. So I've got them. They're probably tree snakes. It wasn't that big. It wasn't that long as piece of skin, or probably, I don't know, half a metre maybe, so it wasn't that big. But yeah, it's a bit funny, you know, there's lots of critters in your garden. If you've got a garden, you've got a lot of plants and what have you up in tropics, you're going to get something, you get some reptile action as well, I guess. It's just the way it is. So I got an update on the Starship test. It's going to be delayed for a week. This is pretty typical for what's happening in the space aero industry. So that's not a biggie, just means about mid-October rather than the first week in October. So hopefully that'll happen, and then we can move on to the Block 3 spaceships, which are going to be ones that can actually do real work. So that'll be nice, and they've got to be ready for Artemis, the moon landing project for from NASA. So the HLS, I think it's called, is the Starship variant that will land on the moon. It will go into moon orbit and rendezvous with the Orion spaceship, which is part of the Artemis project, and take the astronauts down to the surface for several weeks to possibly a month, I think, because it's a gigantic structure, the Starship, compared to what landed on the moon back in the late 60s when you had Neil Armstrong. Yeah, it's a totally different game, different scale. So it should be very exciting if it actually happens. You'll wonder if it's just fantasy, but you know, we did so much in '69 and then nothing really happened after that. It's quite disparaging. It's not disappointing, really. Anyway, I'm walking towards Moore Street, getting a bit of exercise again. It would have been even more exercise if I had to walk all the way up to Nova Street. I'd be buggered by now and probably would have got a lift from Sid, but this is my only walk for the day, so can't enjoy it. In the good old days, when we did the Friday walks with, when I did the Friday walks with Steve and Yvonne, I walked there and back again a lot of times. But yeah, I need to get the blood flowing a bit more these days. My main computer died on me today, which has been sort of limping along. I've tried to reboot it probably a couple of dozen times, and with no luck. That doesn't mean it won't revive, but it's a bit unreliable, and I might have to get my tech guy in, Adam, from Affordable Computers, to check it out, because it was okay prior to him putting in the SSL, the solid state hard drive, into my computer. Since then I've had these issues with booting up, so see we go. Been a while since I've taken this route, just down through the back streets, Kawara. We'll get into Trinity Beach soon, and over a little creek here, and quite a bit of grassland and native bushland around here. It's quite nice, but once you walk through here, you're back in suburbia. So but there's plenty of wildlife around. It's nice. That is something I do like about here, and that's the other place I was looking at, Kira Street, or Kira Close I should say, everything's close over here. That was a bit more built up. It was near the language school, and small block, which means that if the neighbours were noisy, you wouldn't have much of a buffer. Although my noise, I've still got that crazy tapping neighbour that's always hammering on the whatever. I did it again today. It's like a bizarre behaviour, but there's no pattern to it. It just seems like every day they have to do a bit of hammering for whatever reason. There's Earl's Hill up ahead. It should be in frame. We'll just check. Yep, the frame is good at the moment. And yeah, I probably need to do this more often. I'm not really puffed, but my endurance isn't as good as it used to be when I used to walk more often. So anyway, I'll go. This will take me into Strombos Avenue, I think, and that'll go into the Trinity Beach main road, so not too far now, probably another 20 minutes to get to the bottle shop. I'll pick up some grog. I hope I can find Sid's place. I've only been there once, so it shouldn't be too hard. You know, it's just past the Trinity Beach Tavern, so it's not hard to find, but like I said, only actually been to his flat once, so, and it was a while back. Well, it's Friday and I'm heading off to the hospital. Got to have a CT scan, and I'm actually getting the early bus. It's only about 10 past 8 at the moment. It's a 10 o'clock appointment, so I've got oodles of time. I was going to get the 8:50, but I thought, no, look, I'll get the earlier bus, because sometimes I'll let you in early. And they've got with the scans at imaging, it's not actually at the same place today. It's actually in a different building, and so that's why I want to give myself a bit more time to make sure I got myself orientated correctly. But it's been a hell of a week. I've had so many problems with technology. Don't know what they're doing here. This is probably something to do with the neighbour's house. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, they're doing a fair bit of work on the
orange straight lines in front, eh?
and that's the sort of work I want to be doing in the middle of summer, that's for sure. God, there's more vehicles here. It's a major operation. So, yes, I've had a very bad, stressful week with technology. I'm down to just my laptop now, because my old desktop finally died on me, and I've got it in for repair, but I don't like my chances. And on top of that, I took delivery of my new whiz-bang computer, and wouldn't you know it, technical issues. It keeps cutting out. The power keeps cutting off all the time. And I've been in contact with their tech support and their warranty people. I might have to send it back, which is a real pain in the ass. I'll get Adam, my local computer guy, to check it out. But again, I'm not super optimistic. It's very erratic with behaviour. The computer was on for 2 hours yesterday morning, but as soon as I tried to run Manor Lords, the city builder, it switched off power again, which indicates to me if you have any task that requires a bit of grunt on behalf of the computer, it's going to cut out. It could be to do with Manor Lords itself, though, because that's also a problem. But on top of that, I'm getting error messages, ASUS error messages. So it appears to me as if there's real problems with the actual computer. I also got a screen up a few days ago, early in the week, that said that I had an illegal copy of Windows. You know, had the red writing and stuff, but I haven't seen that since. And I've been able to update Windows, so that's sort of contradicts that. So I'm not sure what's going on, to be quite frank. It's very confusing, very frustrating. I'm losing sleep over and quite stressed out. And, you know, as I've said before, technology is wonderful when it works, but it's a pain in the backside when it doesn't. And that's the situation I'm in at the moment. I'm going with JWcomputers. They've got a good name with customer service, so we'll see what's happening. I was a bit concerned. I thought they might be trying to just fob me off and try to avoid me sending the box back to them, because obviously they don't want to do that and I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. But it's looking bad at the moment, so we'll see. But at the moment, yeah, it's a very, very stressful situation. Geez, a lot of people on those scooters. It's amazing. This suburb's absolutely inundated with kids on scooters. It's school holidays at the moment too, so you're going to get more of them. But yeah, this bus will probably just get in a little after 9 o'clock, and I've got a 10 o'clock appointment, so I've got oodles of time there. At least I'll be in an air-conditioned waiting room, and I'll catch up on stories on my phone, so it'll keep me busy. Well, any luck, it's going to be a hot day today. I think it was actually forecast the hottest for a long time, about 33 in Cairns. So it's going to be a bit of a stinker. I've also got to go and buy myself an external hard drive. I desperately need some more storage. Actually, that's one of the items I gave to Adam to look at possibly repairing. I hold very little hope that they'll be able to do it. He said that if you want to just retrieve the data, it could cost $300 to $400. And I said, no, that's not that precious data, that's for sure. So that's just not viable. So I'll get this external hard drive, this USB one, 4 terabytes, quite decent, and about $190 at Western Digital. So that's from Harvey Norman. So hopefully they're in stock, and I'll be able to pick that up today after going to the hospital. And then I'll be catching up for well-deserved drinks. I believe they're well-deserved anyway. At happy hour, maybe at Palm Cove Cavern. I had an alcohol-free day yesterday too, for the first time in, God, could be this whole year. You know, I'm determined to cut back on the grog, and I'll enjoy grog more when I drink it if I don't have it every day, I think. So I'm going to try to do that. We'll see how we go. It didn't miss it that much last night, to be quite frank. I thought maybe I'd have sort of some level of withdrawal symptoms, but I didn't. It was okay. So that's good. Yeah, it looks as though the bus is fashionably late. 20 past. It's supposed to have left the terminus at 15:15. So still got to get up there. Taking a few minutes. So I've got plenty of time anyway. I got this early bus, so there's no panic at all. It's just it's damn warm out here. We don't have any cover, unfortunately. Well, that went extremely smoothly. It was so quick. It's only about 20 past 10, so I'm way ahead of schedule. Unfortunately, not going to get that bus. It's come just a little too soon for me. Yeah, it's pulled out. I have to wait at the bus stop. Could be a while. Don't have much luck with these buses. Stacks of buses on the other side of the road, of course. It's going to be one of those days. But anyway, I've got to go down to Harvey Norman, get myself that external hard drive. But making good time today, that's good. And it's quite warm, so I want to get back home ASAP and get myself some coffee. Well, I'm down in central Cairns, heading towards Harvey Norman. I could have got off at the Cairns Central, decided to get off early and just walk down this way. Boy, it's busy. Buses are crowded, traffic's slow. It's almost like being in a big city today. It's not the greatest as far as mobility's concerned, but very happy with the scan situation. I got there early and they put me straight in, so I got all that crap out of the way quickly. So that's good. And it was much more laid back than the main imaging area in the hospital. It's much quieter. A new section. Yep, got a bit of a walk ahead of me. It's not too hot. I'm not even sure this is the best way to go. Maybe I should have gone to Cairns Central first, but that means you've got to be diverted down that direction. It's much and much. It probably is faster this way, but there's no shade. That's the only downside. And 33-degree top today, so it's quite warm. Unfortunately, Harvey Norman's off the beaten track a bit. And Office Works is even worse. It's further down the road now. Used to be more central, but they've moved. So not a good step in my opinion, but anyway, we'll go down here. There's a block to the left here which has not been developed since I've been living here, so 8-9 years. Nothing's happened. So, and they've got the railway line coming up there. And this is definitely the fastest way to go. So, yeah, made the right decision, I think. Well, that was a bit of luck. It's a particularly warm day here. It's quite a strong easterly breeze as I'm walking down Gannett Street. And as it turned out, I got the 110 bus. I looked up the timetable at Cairns Central stop, and it looked as though the Kawara Beach bus was supposed to be about sometime 20 past 11, something like that, in that range, in the 20s. But then I looked at it online and found out it was supposed to be quarter past and 45 past. So who do you believe? But as it turned out, I got the 110 bus and got to the highway stop, and thank God when I got off I saw the 111 bearing down just behind our bus, and so I flagged her down, and she pulled up, and I was able to do a perfect transfer from the 110 to the 111, so avoiding a very long hot walk back home. So I'm very happy about that. It couldn't have happened on a better day, because it is very warm today. So that was good news. So it's worked out pretty well overall. I thought I mightn't get home till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's looking closer to just after midday. Well, it's Monday and I'm off to see the local vampire at Coastwatch's shopping centre in Trinity Beach, and got a couple of tests to do there. I'm going to try to get 2 lots of tests done, because our GP wanted to do some tests on me, so I better see if I can get all that stuff out of the way today. Got a lot of other things to think about. It's been a bit of a horrendous week, especially with technology for me. I still haven't been able to get my new whiz-bang computer that was delivered from Sydney to be operating correctly. It seems to work okay in the morning. It'll run for a couple of hours at least without any problems, but as soon as I wanted to run one of my games, whether it be Manor Lords or Farthest Frontier, as soon as I do that, the power shuts down. So there's a major problem there. The whole point of buying that computer was to improve the graphics, and so things like games and stuff should look a hell of a lot better, but it doesn't do it, so it doesn't fulfill its primary task. And once I get a full session of a couple of hours or more in the morning and then reboot, I lose power after a couple of minutes each time I try to get back on the computer. So I don't know what's going on. I've been given some pretty technical stuff to do by their help people, but I'm not up to doing that. I'm not up to fiddling around with the motherboard and stuff. God, I'm not a computer technician. What I might do is I'll see if Adam from Affordable Computers up here, if he gets back to me, because I gave him my other computer, the old one, which went on the blink, last Tuesday. He came round and picked it up, and I sent him a message on Friday asking if he had a chance to look at it, and received a reply, and so I'll have to call him today, I guess. But I want him to sort of see if there's a quick and easy way to get this new computer working. And if there is, I'll get him to do it. I don't want to have to return it. It's a real pain in the ass. I'll have to pack it and send it off, and then wait months probably to get the thing checked out properly. So it's a real pain in the ass. It is under warranty, but it's something you want to avoid. But I've had a bad run, and even with this camera I've got here, that I have trouble framing pictures. I've never heard of anybody else with this particular camera having these issues, and I have tried to readjust the panning of it, the gimbal. It doesn't seem to make any difference. Obviously it's still school holidays, a lot of kids out and about. Yeah, so just technology's just biting me in the arse at the moment. It's really bad. So it's quite depressing because, and on top of everything else, the water leak that I got Dale to check out. Dale was under the impression it was a very slow leak, if there is one, and it wouldn't be much of an issue. Well, I was handed on Friday with a $230 water usage bill, which I've never had before, nothing close to it. I think the last bill for about 6 months was $40, so that puts in perspective. So what I've done since Friday is just turned off the water from the mains, and I'm only turning it on for an hour, or about a couple of hours a night, a day night, just basically enough time to have a shower, wash the dishes, do a few things, and try to conserve, just not allow the leakage to flow, and just cut back my water usage to that extent that until I can get a plumber around. That's another issue I've got. I contacted a plumber I've used in the past and rang him up, left a message, no answer. Also left the messages on top of that, and hopefully I'll hear from him today, but who knows, he may be away, he may be too busy. So at least in the meantime, I'm not bleeding dollars, because there's a chronic leakage occurring, and I think it's under the house, so it's a real pain in the backside. This could cost me a lot of money to get this repaired, and it's one of the downsides, I guess, of owning a house. If something big like this does occur, you're up for it. That's where renting can sort of be a little easier, although I don't think it's as good an option long term. But owning a house, you can have these sort of situations occur, so there are inherent dangers in owning a house, and if you don't have money squirreled away, you could be screwed. I do, and I've still got stressed out, so that's a bit soft, I guess. I know a lot of people live hand to mouth, and I don't know how they handle it. It must be incredibly stressful. I just can't live like that. I'm quite conservative with finances, so but I don't like to see money just literally and metaphorically go down the drain, which is what's happened with that water bill. So yeah, it hasn't been a great week. Hopefully next week, or this week, will be a lot better, but I can only hope. I just feel as though the technology fairy has cursed me. So yeah, it's funny when the computer's working fine, you think, oh well, what, maybe I'm just imagining it. But like this morning again, it was running fine. It didn't lose power, but again, I didn't put it through anything that's going to stress it out. I doubt whether I'd even be able to do video editing, because I reckon that'll just cut the power as well. So I'm down to my laptop only, which has limited functionality. I can do the editing on it, but it's going to be slower, so it's going to make things tougher as far as YouTube's concerned. Actually, I checked out a guy from WA who's just moving up to Southeast Asia. He got retrenched. He's been retrenched twice now, and he said, oh, I've had it. He's in his late 50s, and he decided that he divorced a few years back and decided to just make the big move to Southeast Asia. He's got a Thai girlfriend. He doesn't sort of mention much about the background there, but a few people have commented that you might get screwed over by that situation, and I tend to agree. He seems to think he's quite savvy when it comes to all that, and it won't happen to him. But as I say, pride comes before a fall, doesn't it? And I have a feeling that you can tell there's quite a huge age difference between them, and she's the classic Thai girl from Icing, which is the poorest region of Thailand. And he may well find that her family is expecting him to be their bank, but he hasn't mentioned any of that stuff. So early days, I guess. So, but I think it's fair enough that a lot of people commented and made the warned him that it could go pear-shaped, because it does in so many cases over in Southeast Asia with Thai girls. I think the relationships, they do work when, say, the girl's not from a dirt poor rural background. She's like a middle class Thai girl, and maybe has a similar education level as the expat, or probably maybe superior, and it can work. I haven't met couples, Aussie male, Thai female couples, and they do work. But that's why they work, because the age difference isn't quite as extreme, and they're from a similar socio-economic background, and that sort of makes it a lot. The possibility of surviving as a relationship is much greater. I mean, under ideal circumstances, any relationship's hard to make work, I guess. But when you've got all these other factors on top, it's no surprise that there's such a high failure rate amongst expats latching on to rural girls in Thailand. But anyway, he thinks he's got it all worked out. He apparently worked in video, this editing area for a couple of organisations, and so he reckons he's going to make his money doing YouTube. Mind you, he puts my pathetic efforts at the YouTube channel in perspective, because he's only been going for 1 month and he's already got over 1,000 subscribers. So it just shows what an absolute joke my effort is. I've been going for years and I just can't get any. Well, I got close to 1,000, but I doubt whether I'll ever get across the line. I'll probably die before it happens, I think. But he's doing better, and it's not like technically his videos are particularly good. I would have thought, with a background in video and editing and stuff, I would expect a bit better quality, but that doesn't always mean much. I mean, I know that this English guy, Peter, who's got quite a few subscribers, he's always surprised that his talking head videos do better than ones where he puts a lot of time and effort into going to locations and picking shots and what have you. But I think some people's their forte is not so much into making flashy videos. It's just sort of being a person that people can relate to, and I guess I'm not doing particularly well on those stakes. So it's not about necessarily whiz-bang presentation. I mean, as long as you get reasonably decent audio and the picture isn't totally dark, although he's got a couple of shots in his where the lighting's crap. So it really makes you wonder how he became a professional in that area, because to me, I just don't get it. We'll just put it down to teething problems, I guess. The other thing he's got too, and I really find this annoying, not just with him, but a lot of people who make YouTube channels, they add music to the background when they're talking. And it might be partially because my hearing isn't as good, because I'm an old prick, so it makes it harder to understand what they're saying. But I found the music he chose was the stock music, and it was really cheesy and repetitive, and it's distracting. So you're better off without it, in my opinion. If you're going to use music, use it sparingly. maybe if you've got a montage of a whole lot of beautiful shots and you use it as a background to that, yeah, I can see that working. But for if you're talking to camera and stuff, I mean, I don't think it's really necessary, but you know, each to their own. A lot of people may disagree. Like I said, he's got the runs on the board. He's got over 1,000 subscribers after just maybe 1 or 2 months of being online. Puts me to shame, that's for sure. Oh well, that's wonderful. Just a waste of a walk, but I suppose it's exercise, so I've got to look on the bright side. But what I discovered was that the pathology's closed this Monday, the 6th, because it's King's birthday. I mean, for God's sake, one of the most ridiculous reasons to have a public holiday. Explains why there was very little traffic along here when I came. Seems to have picked up now, but it seemed a bit strange. As soon as I got the coast watchers, I knew that I was in trouble because it just wasn't the traffic you'd normally have. But this is the first time I haven't been able to do a blood test. It's the first time in all these years that I've been caught out, because I could have done it on Saturday if I'd known there was going to be a public holiday today. I don't know where this leaves me with my my treatment that I have every second week. I've got to have it on Thursday. I guess I'll just have to go and get the blood test done tomorrow or the day after. Not being in the workforce, you're totally out of touch with public holidays. That might also explain why I haven't heard back from Adam from the computer place, and of course Ryan the plumber, because it's a long weekend. I wasn't aware of that.